founder of Surf's Up Restaurants. We started in Chicago in January of 2012. We've grown to 7 locations, 2 corporate locations and 5 franchise locations. Before I get started, I want to say 2 things. I know the Super Bowl week, I want to say go Chiefs. And I also wanted to, it's Black History Month. So I wanted to, some people you might have heard this before, some people may not have. But 64 years ago, February 1st, 4 North Carolina students launched a sit-in at a Woolworth lunch counter. And it's just mind-boggling to me. It's only 64 years ago. And that ultimately kind of like, it led to more sit-ins around the South, and it ultimately led to the Woolworth actually integrating their lunch counter. And you know, we're not talking about like a 5 and dime spot, we're talking about Woolworth, which is like a national company. So, and it's kind of what I was thinking when I started Surf's Up. I grew up on the west side of Chicago, born and raised in Chicago, and all of the restaurants in my neighborhood had bulletproof glass. You know, it was almost, it really wasn't even a restaurant. It was like, you know, you have bulletproof glass, you order through, you know, put your food in a thing and turn it around. And I was always a serial entrepreneur. I was a corporate income tax auditor for the state of Florida, and my wife and I would go to Tallahassee because I would do a lot of training. So I'd be down in Tallahassee for 2-3 weeks at a time, and I was a serial entrepreneur my whole life. And you know, I wanted to build generational wealth for not only myself and my immediate family, but also my extended family and friends, and have an opportunity for other people to get in business. And so that's kind of, you know, we would go down to Tallahassee. So while we were there, we were both foodies, so we would eat the food down in Tallahassee. And we thought it'd be cool to bring something similar to that back to Chicago. So at Surf's Up, we have a kind of a small menu. We try to fry and grill most of our items because, you know, everybody don't want everything just all fried. Another thing I think that's, well, 3 things that I think that's really important that I think, and kind of our white space for Surf's Up. One is the name. It took me like 4 years going back and forth with the United States Patent and Trademark Office just to trademark the name for Surf's Up. Just because it's trendy, it resonates with so many different people. You know, you resonate with surfers, you resonate with seafood lovers, beach goers. We have a fun beach-themed atmosphere. It's kind of crazy that we started in Chicago, where we really don't do much surfing. But another thing, so skateboarders, that's like land surfing. So, you know, that's kind of where the skateboarding thing came from, right? Another thing I think that's really important, because I know I only got 5 minutes. So we're backed by a group of advisors and mentors that are food and beverage industry veterans. So I just spoke with Scott Taylor. He was the former CEO of Walk-Ons, which is kind of, they have a similar food, but I mean, it's kind of different. But Scott is a lifelong surfer, and you know, he's like a confidant, a mentor, and I'm constantly on the phone with him. You know, he was gonna come down here, wish me good luck. I got Scott Rattler, who was one of the co-founders of Freddy's Frozen Custom and Steak Burgers. So I have franchise development. I have, I just signed on as one of my advisors, Harold Kestenbaum, who was the former general counsel for Sbarro. So, you know, so we're backed by food and beverage industry leaders, and all of these guys are kind of like working with us. They love the concept, and they're trying to help us going forward with our success. Another thing that I think is really important, but I think is a huge opportunity, according to the National Fisheries Institute, the top 10 seafood restaurants in the country is going to be, we start off with, I believe it's Long John Silver's, as far as locations. Long John Silver's have, I think, approximately 1,200 locations. Followed by them is Red Lobster. I think Red Lobster got about 400 or 500. But then the number 10 on the list, I can't think of the name again, but they have 17 locations. Now, when you think of that in relationship to Subway, Subway alone has 24,000 locations. So Subway has more locations than all of the top 10 seafood restaurants put together. So that's a huge white space and a huge opportunity. And you know, I like Long John Silver's, I like Red Lobster, but you know, they've been in the game for a while. They've been doing it maybe 30 years, maybe longer than that. So I feel like Surf's Up is coming in and kind of sneaking in to that market and doing it a little different. We have proprietary seasonings. We have a lot of different streams of income. We have consumer packaged products. We have merchandise where we got like shirts. I don't know if you might see me later on with my jacket with the Surf's Up on the back. We have, then we, depending on where you are, if you're on the coast, you can sell surfboards also. So I think that's huge. The leadership and the advisory board, I think that's huge for Surf's Up. And we're actually looking for an expansion partner. Right now, we haven't had any investment, so we're like 100% in on this. Myself, my wife, who somewhere around here, where is she? So we're looking for an expansion partner to really kind of like take service up. Right now, we're all in Chicago. All 7 locations are spread throughout Chicago. So if you come to Chicago, if you've been to Chicago, you probably heard of it. If you've been there within the last, I would say maybe 5 or 6 years. We're working on a joint venture partnership with Levy Restaurants to put a service up in Soldiers Field. And I guess I'll take questions after that.
Perfect, and raise your hand again.
How many of these franchisees are all single franchisees?
Well, we have one guy who has 2 units, and then the rest are single units. We have right now we have 2 corporate stores and 5 franchise stores. And one of those franchisees, who was actually one of our first franchisees, his original unit has been open since 2014. So he's been open for 10 years, but he has another one also.
Can you talk a little bit about your partnership with Levy and Soldier Field?
Yeah, so we're always in the Black Restaurant Week, and Levy, they noticed we had like about 5 locations that were all participating in Black Restaurant Week. So they wanted to, it was after the George Floyd thing, so they wanted to put their hands and try to do something with black business. So they invited us out to their home office on a Magnificent Mile in Chicago. And it's been a couple of years working on it. At first, we were on a proposal with them for the Obama Library that we didn't get. I think Airmark may have gotten it. But now we're on a proposal with them to do Soldiers Field. So we're working with them on Soldiers Field. We're also working with Areas and Chicago Hospitality Partners, who are airport prime concessionaires, to get inside O'Hare Airport. They got a new request for proposal coming out of O'Hare. So we're trying to hit those. We're going to do some universities.
You gotta work on.
Yeah, exactly. Airmark. We're working with Airmark also on their local restaurant road initiative.
Sylvester Miller from the South Side of Chicago. Seems like a lot of people attacking Chicago people. I got someone talking about LeBron's the GOAT, and I feel like you just attacked Harold Chicken, JJ Fish, and Hooks with the bulletproof glass and everything. So I just had to say, I know what he's talking about inside Chicago, so kind of just a joke, but hey, that's where we know the good food is inside Chicago. If we don't got bulletproof glass, we ain't eating there. So we're good.
That's true.
But where in Chicago are your locations? You say you have 5.
So we have one, you're on the south side, so we have one that we opened a few months ago. They're still a couple months ago, they're still kind of in soft open stage in Beverly on 102nd and Vincennes. We have one in the South Shore area on 71st and Craig. Those are the 2 south side locations, but we're in Lockport, we have a location in Aurora, we have a location in Mount Prospect, Oak Park, and Maywood, Illinois.
Oh, all right, those are some good locations.
Yeah, we're all, we're kind of like equally distant around the city.
I'll be home in March. I'll be at the one on 102nd. I'm 103rd Aberdeen guy.
Okay, come on out. It used to be Uncle Joe's Jerk. So they were pretty popular. They were there for about 30 years. He retired, so he told us it's our time now. So.
What are your average sales?
So the average unit volume is about 800,000 per store. And we haven't, and see, that's what I always say. So it's about 800,000, but these stores, our initial stores, they didn't cost us, $500,000, 250,000. I mean, we did these stores, second generation restaurant spaces with, the most expensive store we put together was like 200,000. And that was the one we opened in September in Mount Prospect. And that had formerly been a Subway, so we had to put in a new hood, exhaust system and everything the Subway traditionally didn't have. So I know right now we have a store that's gonna be opening in Chicago with the Chicago Park District on a museum campus right outside the Shed Aquarium. It's a seasonal outfit, gonna be from May, 2 weeks before Memorial Day to 2 weeks after Labor Day. And I'm looking for that store to do some huge volume. So now we're, in the beginning, they don't even give you an opportunity to get those locations. Okay. Thank you guys, thank you.